Good evening. I am Tanisha LaVerne Grant, reporting live from the red carpet from the world-famous Ziegfeld Ballroom in New York City for the 4th Annual National Cares Mentoring Movement Foundation, which tonight, for the very first time, will shine light on 16 well-deserved designers from the High School of Fashion Industries. Tonight's event is co-chaired by Grammy Award-winning Alicia Keys, and it will be hosted tonight by multi-award-winning journalist Tamron Hall and world-renowned author Dr. Michael Eric Dyson. This is one red carpet you don't want to miss, so tune in to Tanisha LaVerne Grant at blackinamerica.com. So we're bringing you out tonight, and talk to me a little bit about what this foundation means to you.
So Susan is a force of nature. I think we all know that. And we've known her for quite a long time. But now the National Cares Movement has taken things to a whole nother level as far as being able to help people of color, mainly our children. And I am just overwhelmed when I think that she has 140,000 mentors across the country helping our kids.
That's amazing.
And investing in our future.
That's the only way. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure meeting you. Thank you so much. Okay. Talk to me a little bit about your thoughts on the new leaders of today that are moving forward and just passing the torch, that, you know, moving forward with the torch that you've passed with the Civil Rights Movement and Black Lives Matter. What are your thoughts about some of those leaders today?
Well, they manifest themselves as legislators. The new Congress, for example, I mean, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez as an example. But we see young leaders manifest themselves doing what we could not do, elected office as legislators and mayors and congresspeople.
Okay. And so we have, you know, Cory Booker, who has thrown in his hat for presidency. We have Kamala. What are your thoughts? Who are you standing behind?
They're qualified and they're able. It's a bit early to determine who I will support, but I support the proposition, the fact they have the courage to run and the capacity to run. They deserve all of our support.
So Claire, you're definitely one of the trailblazers when it comes to having an online platform. You started with Fashion Bomb Daily. Let's move that forward and talk to me a little bit about some of the changes that you've seen over the past decade.
Yeah, fashion has become a lot more inclusive from a new media perspective. Bloggers like me, we're now in the room and everything is extremely instant. And then also on the runway, we see models of different body types and different backgrounds. So I do think that fashion has progressed a lot over the years, and I'm excited for the future.
Okay, now what do you think about this pitting against bloggers and the traditional journalist? What's your take on that?
I think it's silly. You know, we're all bloggers in a way. If you have a smartphone, you're a blogger. If you're going live, if you're doing an Insta story, you're a blogger. So I think the onus is on bloggers to get that real training, you know, to kind of take a little bit of that, the stigma away from it and just be responsible with their platforms and have integrity. So,
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, this is Tanisha LaVerne Grant live on the red carpet for the 4th Annual National Cares Mentoring Movement Foundation and Gala. I'm here with two of the co-chairs, this husband and wife team duo, known in New York City as one of the chicest couples in New York, and you can just see why. So talk to me a little bit about what this foundation means to you. We'll start with you, Crystal.
Well, it really epitomizes what Susan Taylor is about, and that is grace and compassion and genuine commitment to give back. And essentially, CARES mentoring is the embodiment of Susan putting into work what she wrote about for so many years, in essence, in the spirit. So she has taken her In the Spirit movement and put it in the schools and offered mentoring for boys and girls and giving them the guidance that they otherwise wouldn't have but for her work and the work of the extraordinary team of CARES mentoring.
Wow. And what does it mean for you, Mr. McGuire?
You know, in this environment, if there's ever needed to be a bridge between the streets and the suites, this is that bridge. It is fundamental to whom we are as people. It's integral to how the community operates today and how we need to always remember the least of thee. And if this organization stands for anything, then it stands for that, doesn't it? Doesn't it stand for the fundamentals of who we are, at least the best of who we are? It's opportunity, and what did he say? The great prophet poet said, let's make America what it ought to be, and doesn't this do that?
I love that. I love that. Now, how does a student become involved and get the access that's available through this foundation?
Well, one thing about CARES mentoring is they're constantly evolving, and they've continued to evolve in reaching more schools. I mean, they were in Newark, they're in Chicago, and they have representatives actually in the schools that can work with the guidance counselors that many times will identify the kids that don't even know an organization like CARES mentoring is available. And so they work in tandem with the schools, with counselors, with social workers, with parents, and the extraordinary mentors that are a part of CARES mentoring.
That's awesome, because a lot of times students don't have anyone, including their own parents, advocating for them on the ground, being aware of what activities are available for them. So this is awesome. Thank you so much for speaking with me today. All the best. All the best. See you inside. Thank you. A little bit about what it means for you to be here tonight.
Well, you know, I think of myself as a master mentor. So this is a mentoring, in service event. So this is something important to me and very near and dear to my heart.
Bevy, you are a master mentor. I can't tell you, every time I run into someone on the red carpet, at a press event, at a luncheon or a brunch, black women in this business are like, Bevy Smith, she told me this, she gave me that, she pulled me aside, she schooled me on this. We love you. So what is it about, I mean, it's like the Bevy movement. It's like,
I wouldn't say it's a Bevy movement, but what I would say is that I've been so blessed and fortunate in many of my careers. You know, I've had several careers, and I've been so blessed and fortunate to have people that have guided me along the way that I always want to reach back and help people the way I was helped.
Tamron, congratulations on everything that you're doing. You have a new show that everybody's talking about.
Can't wait.
We can't wait. So what is the platform going to be like for this show?
You know what?
Can you tell us or no?
You know, there's some trade secrets, but the bottom line, it's Tamron Hall is the name of the show. It's a
Tamron Hall show. The Tamron Hall show.
It's just Tamron Hall because we
Tamron Hall
needs a show. We just said Tamron Hall.
Tamron Hall.
And it is premiering in September. My partners at ABC Disney have been tremendous. We've now sold to over 80% of the country. I just announced Washington, D.C. On last Friday picked us up, and we have a big announcement in the next 2 days, another big city that, I'll give you a hint, another big city that I have a close association with, but we're in all the top markets, and we're there. We're there, and I could not have done it without the amazing support of black women, of my community. And
we're so dialed in.
Yes, it is. Let me tell you. But for the grace of God, you know.
You're doing it. You know what? We're neighbors. I live across the street from you.
Oh, you do? You don't ever say hi.
I don't really see you. I just know, like, I always see your festivities. And I'm like, oh, there she goes again. I absolutely love it. So talk to me a little bit about what it means to be here tonight to host this event, the National CARES Mentoring Movement Foundation.
This is my 4th year attending. I think it's my 3rd year hosting. Obviously, like so many of us, I grew up admiring Susan Taylor and all of her work from Essence and beyond. But I also know that if I didn't have mentors, people outside of my home who also believed in me, you know, my mother and my father believed in me, but having other people show me and guide me in a different way was instrumental. You know, my mother was a teacher, my dad was in the military. They didn't know the TV business. And I had mentors who came into my life and said, here's the direction, let me help you. So I couldn't live on this planet and not extend that help to someone else.
It's about the collective work and responsibility, and Susan is definitely, I mean, she's done it for so many of us brown girls who wanted to get into journalism, TV, lifestyle. What is your opinion about journalism today with the advent of social media, bloggers versus the traditional journalists? Do you have any takes on
my
it?
show. I have to see you in September on the show.
You know what, have me on the show, Tim. Thank you. So you two are the epitome of black love and marriage. I mean, what is your advice to young couples who think they could just jump right in? You see all these like black love hashtags, but nobody knows about putting in the work. Talk to me about what that means.
Well, you know, it's an interesting thing when two people meet. It's chemistry. It's really based on chemistry. But
she's got a lot of chemistry. Just an absolute dynamite, timeless beauty.
Yes, she does. Absolutely. And it's not only beauty on the outside, it's beauty on the inside. And that's probably far greater than you could imagine. But, you know, when people get together, there is a learning process that has to take place before you get married.
Wow.
You know, there's a lot of questions that need to be asked before you get married, just so that you understand the stuff that's not necessarily on the surface. You know what I'm saying?
I understand.
That's
completely.
the most important thing, I
So
think.
is there something that's in your relationship that is like, okay, this is what we're not going to do? Like, you both travel a lot. So do you say, you know what, we're not going to spend any more than like a week or 2 weeks apart?
Oh, absolutely. We try to do that.
Okay.
Follow that rule so that we, you know, spend a lot of time together.
Tanisha LaVerne Grant at blackinamerica.com.